There are some conversations that I think we as the church need to have. Conversations about suffering, about trauma, about pain, about connection. How do we sit with the suffering? What does our own pain have to do with it? What is our personal and communal responsibility? How do we engage God's imagination for our world, for our communities, and for our relationships? I think these conversations will require us to be brave in how we engage. And I want to help you do just that, to be brave. And to do it together in ways that expand our imagination for how we think about suffering, what our responsibility is in and toward it, and how we might envision engaging communally to participate in the healing work of God in our communities. This year, I'm collaborating with a number of local church pastors across the country to make my training Ministering in a Suffering World available. This is a one-day training for pastors, for lay leaders, normal disciple makers, lovers of neighbors. Really, it's just a training for anyone who feels a responsibility to take the call of disciple making seriously and yet has some questions about how we do or do not engage the suffering of the world around us. To be clear, my goal in this training is not to turn pastors into therapists or convert our church gatherings into group counseling sessions or abandon theology for self-help practices. I am suggesting that we have a God who cares deeply and knows deeply the suffering of humanity and has invited us to participate with God in its healing. And yet far too often we find ourselves in contexts where we're uncertain of how to engage. And at times we even perpetuate or cause harm to those God has entrusted us to love. I think we're in great need of 3 specific conversations. How do we understand human suffering in ways that are theologically sound and psychologically informed? What is our own personal responsibility towards pain and suffering? And can we expand our imagination for what it means to minister in a suffering world? We need to think deeply together, to wrestle together, and to develop some new tools. So I would like to invite you to join me at one of the Ministering in a Suffering World trainings that are made available throughout 2025. Dates, locations, and registration are all available on our website, churchwell.co. And I hope you find a way to join me this year. And whether you do or do not, may your heart be strengthened to walk in bravery with kindness. And may you be drawn toward the presence of God waiting to be revealed in unexpected places.